welcome to Sister Speak Talk Show. I'm Hazel Cherry.
I'm Davia Janelle.
And I'm Angela Jones.
We're so elated that you tuned in with us today. Today we're talking about all things beauty, all things Black women, all things wonderful about us.
So I think let's kick off the conversation talking about social media, because social media is so prevalent right now, right? So how are the ways in which that you all see that social media, maybe even like with Instagram, Facebook videos, like ways in which social media are really tuning into and uplifting the versatility of Black beauty?
I think it's all about the hashtag. Like you had Carefree Black Girl, you have Black Girls Rock, you have Melanin on Fleek. Like all of these little hashtags that are just really affirming what we have always known, that Black women are beautiful. But I think it starts with the hashtag. Yeah.
Even campaigns that are now sharing more of the shapes of Black women, not just the smaller petite women that we tend to see on different billboards or in different magazines, but they're doing more campaigns that are, you know, sharing the voluptuousness of the Black woman and not just, you know, the anorexic struggle. You know?
I think it's and to that point, I think it's also showing the different shades of beauty, right? So like we've always affirmed like light skin beauty as it relates to whiteness and all that, but I think that there are more campaigns now that showcase just the arrays of skin tones and skin colors and richness in beauty. So I think that's a beautiful thing about social media and the advertising as well. Yeah.
Has there been a particular avenue that you all have seen within social media that you all are like, yeah, this is the time, this is the season to start like highlighting and glorifying, or even just supporting, right, this type of Black beauty or Black woman beauty?
I would move back to even the Black Girls Rock hashtag. The hashtag, and then even with the show that just, you know, came on BET, one of my favorites, Jasmine Sullivan, did that performance of Masterpiece, one of my favorite songs on the album, that basically says that you need to embrace who you are. And how even during that performance there was, you know, all of these beautiful women that came down these long stairways and just, you know, exuded beauty from, you know, different shades to different shapes. So one of the hashtags that I've, you know, definitely followed is Black Girls Rock.
You both touched on something that just hit me to my core, and that is the versatility of Black female beauty. The way in which we look, the way in which we operate, the way in which we exist, our voices, our hair, right? The way in which we play around with fashion and makeup, and even the way in which we embrace our artistry, depending, whatever that artistry is, you know, whatever it is that your special gifts and talents are. I love the fact that they are now being like thwarted to mainstream audiences by way of social media platforms.
And you talked about something really important that I think propels Black beauty, and that's Black hair. So we've seen a rise in the last 3 or 4 years, or maybe 5, with natural hair. And so that brought about just a certain level of affirmation for Black women to just affirm, like, however it comes out, like it's beautiful, or if I gotta twist it up, lay it down, however, but that is beautiful. And so I think that has been instrumental too in just us being able to affirm our beauty on different platforms. And now we're in a better place where we're like, however you wear your hair, like affirm it. But I think that going back to that period where everyone was trying to be natural or doing the natural thing, I think it helped us propel to just accept ourselves and the beauty that and the way we want to adorn ourselves.
Absolutely. Even with hair, you know, I believe even in this area that has always been okay to have that natural hair. But even with natural beauty, you know, sometimes we struggle with wearing makeup or just going free face. How do y'all feel about makeup?
I like it, but to me it's just like another extension of whatever my mood and my feel is for that moment or that day. So I don't wear makeup every day. I don't press my hair out every day. I don't twist my hair up every day. It's really just an expression of how I feel in that moment for that day. And I give myself the freedom to be as versatile as I want to be.
I think sometimes I struggle. Like sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, my eyebrows look great. Like, and if I feel like if your eyebrows and your eyebrow, the last, you good. But I feel like there are times when I really do struggle. Like I do feel like this week I may need to wear makeup every day. And some days where I feel more comfortable, it's like, no, I'm gonna just be free face. But I also don't ever go like fully free face. So I will admit that, like, I always like really with the eyebrow, I feel like my eyebrows have to be right because they really shape your face. So, I mean, I will always have something.
I know for me, I'm not heavy on makeup.
Yeah.
Being an artist, sometimes I know I definitely have to put on that face being before a certain amount of people. But I feel like for the most part, I try to go bare face as you all have discussed. But I know, have y'all experienced times when you're sick or you don't feel well? Do you feel like you have to put on that face?
Absolutely not.
I do. I feel like I have to put on a dab here, dab there, dab everywhere so I can wake up, especially working at a high school. Like, the kids are everywhere. They have questions. They want to vent. They want to talk. And if I don't look right, what's wrong with you, Miss Jones? What's going on with you, Miss Jones? So I feel like I have to do something.
You know what? I'm in between. It really depends on how I feel. But sometimes, I do need to add a little bit of concealer, a little bit of powder, a little
Something like
sugar.
that eye.
Right.
Because that eye.
You know, we highlight, especially on this platform, we emphasize that your beauty, your identity, it all should be shaped and molded from the inside out. But it's also important, too, to know that sometimes it can work in the reverse from the outside in. And I might feel just a little bit better knowing that I got a little bit of a bronze on. I look like somebody.
Or some color, the same way with like color in your outfits. Like it can be dead in the winter, and if I'm just not feeling it, I will put on some bright clothes just to make myself feel more upbeat.
Right,
you know what I mean? So the way you adorn yourself, I do think has implications sometimes for what's going on the inside and vice versa.
That's good.
Yeah.
Body types. I think we're all
Taught in our own.
we all have, our own shape and our own God-givenness. And, sometimes I know that it might be a touchy topic to talk on wardrobe or how we wear our clothes, what fits best. And do y'all struggle with wardrobe when it comes to beauty? Because I know I love clothes.
I love clothes, and I think for that reason alone, like I've never really struggled in terms of wardrobe. I like always want to look nice, and I think I got it from my grandmother. She just always like made sure she stepped out and was fresh to death. Like I learned early on, don't wear no scarf on your head outside the house, even though that's like a thing now, like where you can make it pretty. But growing up, like I never wore scarves outside the house. I can even remember, in particular with my hair. We're gonna get back to shape in a minute, but particularly with my hair, like I'm very particular. And I can remember being a sophomore and I had just gotten my hair done, but something happened in the shower where it got poofed up. Oh, and I cut school that day. And I got in trouble, of course, but it's just like there are certain things that we're particular about. And when it comes to wardrobe, I feel like it is important to adorn your body in things that complement your shape. And like everybody can't wear the same thing and look okay. And then and I think that's fine to admit too, like because I think a part of adorning yourself beautifully, you want to accentuate the things that are beautiful about yourself, which I'm not saying there are only certain things that are beautiful, but there are some things we know that somebody may have beautiful legs or voluptuous hair, you know what I mean? So just be feeling comfortable and showcasing that clothes that support that and complement that.
You know what? That has been a challenge for me. Ironically, it wasn't through high school or through my early 20s. It was more so once I crossed into the late 20s, getting into my early 30s, and then my body started to change. Like, who is this woman that I'm looking at? Like, why is it all of a sudden that I have an extra, what you call it, your God-givenness? God-givenness some more. Like, when did I get more? And having to relearn and affirm myself in that place and be okay with the way in which I was transitioning, because it's a good thing, it's a blessed thing, and embracing it, and at the same time, I'm huge on affirmations, and my good friend Brittany Lee Wright in Fort Lauderdale showed me actually the importance of affirming yourself. And so I write on my mirror, you are beautiful as you are. So whether I step out barefaced, with concealer, without, hair twisted, hair wrap on, what have you, I'm reminded that my beauty is sourced inside.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Even as you talk about, the threshold of 20s to 30s, I noticed metabolism has changed. And, as we're talking about beauty, do you have any regimens of even health and fitness that you follow, or is that important to you all as it, pertains to beauty and how we see ourselves.
You've been my accountability partner.
On and off.
Right. Over the past 2 years, we have been very helpful to each other. But I think health and fitness is it's extremely important because again, what's inside reflects outside. And I think if you're disciplining yourself to at least eat right, I mean, we will all binge or have things that we want a cupcake for a day or whatever the case might be.
Yes.
But health and fitness, I think, is very important. And I think it's a part of our beauty. It's an extension of our beauty. And I think people are working out now in general, not so much, because I want to look a certain way, but more so like, I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. It gives me more energy. So I think for me personally, that is important. And I have to create boundaries for myself in terms of eating habits, but also to make sure that I'm getting in the gym a few times a week. Yeah.
You see, my parents are gym nuts.
Wow.
Like, they are gym freaks. They have been for years. They love it. My mother goes there, and it's just like her sanctuary, She's like, I don't know what I'm doing today, but I know I'm going to the gym. That's her thing, And my parents spend quality time with each other in the gym.
That's sweet.
That's their date. I honestly believe. I'm gonna say
relationship goals. Yes.
But for me, I don't like the gym, so it was difficult when we were doing like these family outings, and everybody's really good in the gym, and my brother's hitting these weights, and I'm like, back to the elliptical. Right. It's just not my thing. But I'm finding other things to do.
Good.
Like because of I'm a commuter and having to come in and out, I'm walking miles. 3-4 times a week. So I give myself grace that if I'm not walking around the neighborhood, back here in Virginia, it's fine because I make sure I'm doing something active, so I give myself grace in that way.
Dance is a good part for exercise too. Like I love to dance, so Zumba, African Haitian dance, like all of those are really good, and they're not always offered at gyms. You can find them at community centers and places like that. Those are really helpful too.
A good playlist in your bedroom will go.
Come on now, I will do some squats.
Okay.
I will do squats for more in a minute.
In addition to fitness, you all did mention that you're a commuter, and not only health does not only mean fitness, it also means what you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
I know for me, I have a long day almost every day of the week.
Yes.
And the clock never stops.
Right.
It's always going. So for me, I try to, as far as a daily regimen, I try to put more healthy snacks in a bag, and I've been that lunch bag lady where I bring my banana and my apple.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, this is a new thing that I'm doing, but I feel like if I at least have the right things with me, I'm less likely to go to the faculty lounge and get what so-and-so brought as, just the gift for the day.
Yeah.
It might be the cupcake, it might be the Krispy Kreme donuts that I so do love and enjoy, but yeah.
But Angela, you said something that was really amazing, and that was being conscious of what you put into your mouth. And I'm going to piggyback on that and say being conscious of what you put out of your mouth. Because, speaking, what I'm saying, speaking life into other people, it can also have that reciprocal effect in being something really good for you. Your energy changes, your mentality changes, and the way in which you interact with people changes. And what's more beautiful than being good with somebody? You know what I mean? And being good to somebody and for somebody and for yourself at the same time.
And affirming the beauty in somebody else. Like, I know sometimes sisters have a problem with giving like compliments to each other, but like I just made a pact to myself to be intentional. Like if I see something cute on somebody, or if I think their smile is beautiful, to just go out of my way to say it, because you just never know how like a small compliment or a small gesture can go a long way.
A genuine one.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
That's good.
For sure.
So I did have one last question before we wrap up and close. What do you think the intergenerational impacts are, especially with young professional, young Black women starting to affirm themselves and love on each other and just learning to embrace who they are? What type of impact do you think that's having for older and younger generations to see like the millennials forming this kind of cohesion and supporting one another?
I could say for my mom, she's embraced sort of the natural hair momentum. Like when I did a big chop a few years ago, and she was just like, "Oh, Hazel, I love it." Because my mom is like the opposite of me. Like she has been barefaced her whole life. Like she does not partake in makeup or any of that, and she just loves like natural beauty. So when I went natural, she was just like, I want to do that. Like, and you twist your hair, Hazel, like, how do you do that? So I think as we affirm ourselves, sometimes we give the older generation and even the younger generation a space to feel confident to be who they are as well. So that's just one example.
I feel like our outlets are very important, just like you have someone in an older generation. I also see my mother as someone that is a person of beauty that I look up to, because she is one of those people that is barefaced and you know is always dressing for the gods.
Right.
Like, jeans are for the household. When it comes to my mom, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a waste of money. Anyway, but it depends on your outlets. Just to piggyback on what you're saying, you know, sometimes our younger generation only looks to social media. They don't have some of the older images that they can see are classic beauties. They might have the mainstream beauty that is in the form of those on Love and Hip Hop. Now, if you're looking at Love and Hip Hop, that might be, you know, something difficult to, you know, compete with. You know, there's a lot of weaves, there's a lot of lashes, there's a lot of makeup. So if you feel like that is the woman that gets all the attention, that has the ultimate beauty, that's a struggle.
That's good.
And what I try to at least tell the, you know, high schoolers that I'm around is that embrace who you are. You know, your bare face, your natural locks, your just your petiteness, your whatever you are. It doesn't have to be adorned with so many colors and so many layers that we can't see your authentic self.
It has been a joy talking to you all about all the various impacts of beauty, from hair to body type to makeup, all of it. We just want to affirm each and every one of you to just say that you are beautiful. There's a line from India's song Private Party where she says, my body is beautiful and sacred and I'm going to celebrate it. So in that same vein, remember to celebrate your body, celebrate yourself. All that you are is beautiful and lovely. We love you.
Ashe.
See you next time.